All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe Pellerin, coming to you live from my back porch on Tuesday, June the 7th, I believe it is. And wearing my Space City gear because after last night I might burn it all. We'll get into that a little bit later. Well, first, what are you drinking, what are you smoking? Picked this one up the other day. This is an Alec Bradley. It's called Magic Toast. There you go. And yeah, I mean, starting off good dark cigar. If you like a full-bodied kind of a little darker cigar, this is a pretty good one. I kind of dig it so far. All right, and then what are you drinking? I have a year-old Bourbon Barrel Commitment Imperial Stout from St. Arnold. This was last year's. This is 15.7%, so it might have gone up a little bit in the bottle there. So, let's see what it says here. Porter 1-2. Clever. All right. And so, actually, got my commitment. This is the glass I usually drink out of. Commitment. So here we go. And once again, I've told you this before, I'm a stout guy. I will drink stouts any time of year. I don't care if it's 90 degrees outside or not. I don't know what the temperature is today. It's 90-something here in Houston, Texas. South side, Clear Lake region. But there you go. All right, so before we get underway here, a little cheers, everybody. Well, last when I left you, I said that I was going to go to Kansas City, watch the Astros play, and unfortunately I did not because the plague visited our house and we were unable to go. So that happened. We got canceled, so we had to cancel the trip, but it is what it is. I got to watch, stay at home, but the two games we would have went to, which was Friday night and Sunday, the Astros would have won. And then, or they did win actually. And then, of course, Sunday too, you had the whole thing with Ryan Presley getting ejected and all that kind of fun stuff. And then had a little benches clearing incident last night too. Before we get into that, just kind of first of all, freaking NBA's killing me, man. 2 games or 2 days between games. I mean, are you freaking kidding me, man? Like, I know they're doing it for like TV revenue and stuff. Maybe they're trying to get the premium nights, not play on certain nights, so they'll have more eyeballs on their product. But 2 days between games, you're going to play a game, they get 2 days off, and then play a game, and they get 2 days off. Oh, come on, man. These are well-conditioned athletes, man. They should be playing you should be either playing every other day or at the very freaking least be playing, I mean, I think back-to-backs in the finals would be okay. But, I mean, if you're going to take 2 days off, at least do it for a travel day. I mean, just take one day, play Monday, take Tuesday off, play Wednesday. And then if you want to do a travel day on, and then do Thursday, Friday off, and then play Saturday, I get that. But, Jesus criminy. Speaking of the NBA finals, they did get going last Thursday. Went too far back. There we go. And game 1, of course, Celtics won 120-108. Basically, Celtics just started raining threes, and I believe it was the third quarter in that second half, and kind of, I'd say, upset the Warriors in game 1, especially the way the Warriors have been playing here at home in these playoffs. That might have been the first home loss that the Warriors had of all playoffs so far. And then we had freaking 2 days off. We didn't play Friday, didn't play Saturday, so they did have a game Sunday, which, for TV, I get, but, like, whatever. But anyway, starting Friday, take Saturday off, all right, and play Sunday. Anywho, but then the Warriors, of course, blew out the Celtics 107-88, and that one I watched in the second quarter, in a close game, and I think the Warriors were only up by 2 at halftime, and me and my wife started watching something else. I flip it back off. There were 7.5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter, so they weren't even halfway through the fourth quarter yet, and it was like a 20-point lead or something ridiculous. And I looked at my ESPN app and looked at the game line in the make sure I got this right here. The Golden State Warriors actually outscored the Celtics in the third quarter, 35-14. Yeah, in the third quarter. And then final was 107-88. So series is tied at 1. Game number 3, I believe, is tomorrow night. Yeah, because once again, they got 2 days off. They took Monday off and Tuesday off. I don't understand why, but whatever. And then they only get 1 day off, and then they're going to play Friday. But then it goes back to the 2-day thing. They're going to take Friday off, Saturday off, and then game 5 will be on Monday. And then once again, 2 more days off. They don't play again till Thursday, and then they don't play again till Sunday. Once again, 2 more days off, and then finally, and that'll be game 7 if necessary. Will be that Sunday, which I get trying to want to play on a Sunday night and stuff like that, but freaking hell, man! Like 2 days between games is just stupid. And everybody wonders why the NBA season goes on for so goddamn long. Jesus Christ. Well, that's just me bitching, but still. I mean, come on. Real quick on hockey. The Avalanche completed the sweep last night. Avs are on their way to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2001. So the first time in 21 years that the Avs are going to the Stanley Cup. They swept the Oilers, which was actually a fairly entertaining series, to be completely honest with you, because there was a hell of a lot of goals scored. But game 1, Avs won it 8-6. And then game 2 was a shutout, 4-0. Then let's see, game 3, the Avs won 4-2, which was a close game. And then last night in overtime, 6-5. So even though it was a sweep, it was freaking hella entertaining as all get out. As far as the Rangers won game 1 over the Lightning 6-1 in the Eastern Conference, and then the Rangers took game 2 3-2, and then game 3 went to Tampa, so it's 3-2, and then I believe they are playing tonight as well. Game 4 is tonight. Rangers with a 2-1 lead. They're playing in Tampa. And so I don't think the Rangers have been to the Stanley Cup or won a Stanley Cup since the 90s when Mark Messier was there. Lightning, of course, have been the dominating team the last couple of years here. And once again, you had the Avalanche, who were already in the Stanley Cup Finals going, and they hadn't been in 21 years. So might be just kind of rooting for the Rangers for a little like old school matchup, a couple teams that hadn't won in a very long time to go. But I know the Rangers, when Messier won it with them, that was back, that'd be like 94, 95, somewhere in that neighborhood. When they won, they'd had gone like 50 years without winning one or something like that. So maybe the Rangers are due. We'll see. Generally don't root for New York teams, but we'll kind of see what happens with that. So there's your NBA Finals and your Stanley Cup update. Also, too, want to mention the men's college baseball. They've started the Super Regionals, so we'll talk a little bit more about that when they actually get to the College World Series. Women's College World Series is going right now, and of course, y'all know I'm a Longhorn fan. Hook 'em. Just a fan, didn't go there, but I'm still, it's kind of what I grew up with here in Texas. You're kind of either an A&M fan or you're a Texas fan, unless you went to a different school, basically. Those are kind of the 2 big universities in Texas. That's kind of where everybody kind of gravitates to as far as fandom goes. So I'm a UT fan. And so the women's softball team was unseeded coming into the Women's College World Series. They beat UCLA in their first game, then lost to Oklahoma, and then defeated... I can't remember who the hell they defeated. They defeated somebody. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I can back it up here. Yeah, all right. So Texas beat UCLA 7-2. Then they got a day off, and then they lost to Oklahoma 7-2. And then they came back and beat Arizona in an elimination game 5-2. And then yesterday, the elimination games, UCLA actually did beat Oklahoma, the number 1 seed in the tournament. They beat them 7-3 in the first game, but then Oklahoma came out and won 15-0. They actually stopped the game after the 5th inning. It was a mercy rule in softball there, so they stopped it after 5 instead of going 7. You only play 7 in softball. And then the Lady Longhorns, man, they beat, well, here in Texas we call them Okie Light, which is Oklahoma State. But Okie Light, they beat them 5-0 in the first game, and the second game was freaking wild. Texas was actually down 5-0. Looked like they were going to lose. A couple of first of all, 3-run homer by the Longhorns, and then you got a costly error by the Cowgirls there, and they would basically kind of cost them the game. UT went up 6-5, held off Okie Light, and this is the first time, I believe, when I was listening to it last night, that an unseeded team has got to the championship round. It's also the first time the Lady Longhorns have gotten to the U.S. championship too. Some of you that watch the Olympics may know Kat Osterman, who was the pitcher for UT back in the early 2000s. She was also on the U.S. Olympic team. Actually came back to play on the Olympic team in Tokyo when it was postponed back in 2021. It was 2020/2021 Olympics. So she was there last night. And then so they ended up winning 6-5. So Wednesday night starts, I believe it's a 3-game series. I believe. And so it starts on Wednesday night, and it'll be the old rivalry, at least football rivalry, Texas and OU. So UT, OU going at it. They're in Oklahoma City. Of course, Oklahoma City, not that far from Texas. And, of course, basically a home game for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma's number 1 ranked team in the country, and they'll be taking on unseeded Texas Lady Longhorns in their first ever College World Series finals appearance. But that's going to be a 3-game set, too. And then, of course, the UT men are in the Super Regionals for baseball. So, like I said, this is the thing about my show, the Jules and Joe Sports Show. We throw a little bit of everything at you. We'll talk Women's College World Series. I don't care. We'll do it. All right. It's sports. Still don't know why women don't play baseball, but that's a whole nother story for another day. It's a whole nother topic for another day. So that's what we kind of got going on with that. And I don't think that's pretty much it. I know we talked a lot of auto racing last week, and I was wrong. The Belmont Stakes will not be till this Saturday. I thought it was last Saturday. I lost count of my days, but the Belmont will be this weekend. Don't really think we need to get too much into it because, once again, no Triple Crown winner on the line. We've had 2 different winners for the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Of course, the Derby winner didn't even run in the Preakness. Is running in the Belmont. We'll see how that shakes out. But just kind of really nothing there. Nothing really NFL-wise. Arrow, except for Aaron Donald, got a $40 million raise with the Rams. Deshaun Watson's got another 2 cases against him, so the civil cases is now up to 24. Just real quick on that, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but of course he was here in Houston, so we were kind of really talking about it. I'm not even a Texans fan, and I'm glad he's gone. But I know there's a lot of people. There's just people that's that are behind Deshaun, and I get that. But we got the 22 cases. Plus, I think there's another 20 or so masseuses. Might have to use air quotes with that. That said he behaved himself, or that they had consensual sex with him. So, just through sheer numbers with this, at the very least, Deshaun is a freak. All right. He's got a massage fetish. Now, what are his motivations as far as that goes? And this is where it's debatable, depending on what side you're on and stuff, or his actions predatory or not. But I definitely think that Deshaun, in his mind, as an high-profile athlete, believes that he can get laid at any time and I think this is my own personal opinion. I am not in this guy's head. I don't know. This is just me speculating. Just want to say that first and foremost. I just think that he's hitting these girls up on IG, wanting sex, and then basically seeing if he can get it or not. Now, the thing with that is, though, that if he doesn't get it, he does try really hard and maybe a little too hard, and does cross a line into which it does become sexual, at the very least, harassment, if not sexual assault. All right, so I think that's kind of the difference there. But either way, and I don't know if Deshaun just likes having sex with different women. I don't know if he's just got a thing for masseuses, and that's just his little fetish that he has. I mean, Tiger Woods was banging prostitutes. There's, obviously Deshaun's not the only guy to do this. But at least with Tiger wasn't pulling his dick out, in the middle of a massage, and stuff like that. I mean, Tiger was paying for these women, which once again I think should be legal. Once again, my own personal opinion. And all the ladies that he was with were consensual, and if you're a high-profile athlete like that, basketball, football, baseball, doesn't matter, you can get the ladies. So I don't know with Deshaun if it's a power thing, if it's a game for him, if it's just a fetish that he has. That's for a psychologist, okay? But there's got to be some kind of merit to this, and I tend to believe the women on this deal, because once again, I don't think you're going to get 24 women together, 24 people in general. It doesn't even matter if they're women. I don't think you're going to get 24 people together that are going to tell a similar story, get all their stories straight, unless they're, and all that stuff. So definitely something happened. So we'll see what the NFL does. I mean, they have to suspend him, I think, because Roethlisberger, no criminal charges, suspended. Zeke Elliott, no criminal charges, suspended. Deshaun Watson, 24. 2-4. All right, 24 allegations with that. So, I mean, come on, man. Like, just, and I just don't know what was going through his head. Like, you're a fucking NFL quarterback. You can get laid anytime. Like I said, unless this is a power thing for him, which that, of course, is predatory and not healthy. Or he's just got this fetish that he thinks he can, whatever, that he thinks that he can get, stuff. But just, and like I said, and I'm sure that some of the chicks were willing to have sex with him, and some of them weren't, but the way that he tried to get women, I mean, it's one thing if you just, if you're getting his massages to get laid, I mean, all you have to do is ask, and just be like, or do the massage, and then afterwards being like, hey, I kind of like you. You want to knock the old boots, and just, you can ask them away, and if they're like, no, just want to keep this professional, just be like, okay, here's your money, here's your tip, appreciate it, and walk out the door, and you haven't assaulted anybody or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, and you haven't shown anybody your dick, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, that's kind of it. All right, because I know a lot of times these athletes get approached by women. Don't even have to do much. But if you are the one approaching women, I mean, just make your intentions known. And if they say no, they say no, and just be like, well, thank you, good day. All right, but you can still do it in a, well, it's not exactly respectful, but I'm just saying you can do it in a non-threatening, non-assaulting, whip my dick out manner. All right, just hey, I think you're kind of cute. You want to party? I mean, it's basically all you gotta say. So I don't know. Anyway, that's Deshaun. So that's going on kind of with the NFL news. And then also, too, Romeo Crennel here in Houston finally retired. 50 years in the NFL. 50 years in the NFL. And finally retiring. But hopefully I can still get my sideline tickets for Commanders and Texans here in Houston. We'll see what happens, though. All right. Also, too, just kind of real quick here, I did wear my Space City shit. I think the Astros have won one game so far in their Space City uniforms. I don't know how many they've played. I think they're 1-3. I want to say. I'm not 100% sure about that. I was trying to find it today because I know Chicago last year had a really bad record in their city uniforms. So I don't know if there's a city uniform jinx or if it's just a couple teams. But I was trying to find, but I don't think anybody's got like a team's record when they're wearing the City Connect jerseys or uniforms. Of course, the Angels debuted theirs, Rockies debuted theirs. So those are the other teams that have debuted this year. But the Astros are wearing them every Monday. And like I said, the first when they debuted them, they got their asses kicked. I think they won the second game. I think they've dropped the last two. I want to say they're 1-3 in the city uniforms this year. I want to say. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say. So it might be time to. I mean, I love them. I like them. I like the logo. I really like the hat. I like the logo with the hat. Might be time to get rid of those uniforms, though. Good thing they're not wearing them in the playoffs. Jesus Christ. But yeah, and then also too, the Angels are in free fall. I mean, Jesus Christ, I think they've won. I think they lost last night too, which would beat the losing streak up to I think 12. I need to check that too, but I knew they were headed up to 11. Astros have I think an 8.5 game lead in the AL West right now. So kind of going on with that. Mets are kicking ass. I think the Mets have the biggest lead. Yankees are still really fucking good too. A bunch of great pitching from the Yankees right now. And then as far as that goes, and so that's kind of it. We'll talk more baseball later, but I know the fans are kind of getting sick of umpires, but then with the so I kind of want to talk about a little bit about like the unwritten rules of baseball. Do you throw, and stuff like that. I understand having to protect your guys, and if you're sitting there getting plunked, you get plunked 2-3 times in the same by a team. I mean, it's nice for a pitcher to have your back, but so I get that, but like I'm kind of torn about the throwing at people because number one, if you do throw somebody, for me, you got to aim waist down, like aim for the butt, aim for the legs, aim for the thigh. You got to aim kind of low. But at the same time, even if you're trying to aim low, ball might get away from you, might end up getting the guy in the head. And we're talking about, serious injury, ending careers, things of that nature. That I'm not for, obviously. But if you're going to try and hit a guy, hit him low. All right. So basically what happened, if you're not a Kansas City Royal fan or you're not an Astros fan, the Astros got plunked. Excuse me. The Astros got plunked 3 times in that series. Pena got plunked twice. And then Jordan got plunked. Now, Jordan got plunked with like a sinker and got plunked in the butt. I mean, it wasn't a fastball or anything like that. And it's probably really, tell you the truth, didn't probably hurt that much. But the thing about it is that Jordan had hit a home run his previous at bat. Jordan was a double shy away from the cycle. They also had a mound visit, and then Jordan got plunked. And then fast forward, Astros were up by, I think they were up, what was the score at that point? Royals had 7-2, I believe. I think it was 7-2 at that point. So I think it was a 5-run. I want to say it was a 5-run lead. Yeah, it was 7-2. We get to the 9th inning. Ryan Presley comes in, gets 2 outs. It's the 9th inning, 2 outs. Last guy comes to the plate. Presley throws a ball inside. The comment is made by the batter, to the catcher, Maldonado, did we hit too many guys? Because he's a baseball player. He knows retaliation. And the umpire hears that. Now, Presley spiked a slider on the next pitch, but then he comes back inside. Now, Maldonado said that was the scouting report. He showed the scouting report to the ump, Now, if they were throwing at him, that's a good alibi. And we're throwing at somebody with a situation like you're up by 5, there's 2 outs, okay? I understand if you're going to try and plunk the last guy, but really you get one shot at it, all right? Like if you miss, don't go back after the guy a second time. Just throw inside. If you miss him, you miss him. If not, whatever, all right? Or at least get it to like a 1-2 count, hit him with a 1-2 count, and then, suspicion is a little bit less. But the Astros, they're up by 5. They got 2 runs. If you're going to hit a guy, I know he's the last batter of the game, but if you're going to hit a guy, why are you going to hit a guy there, all right? So, but it's possible they were still trying to hit him to protect the player. I'm not saying they weren't, all right? It's a possibility. I'm just saying it's a little, kind of like, well, what the hell why are you throwing there? And then, anywho, so after the second pitch inside, umpires come out, issue warnings to both benches. Presley's like, why the hell am I getting a warning? And then he gets tossed, and then that was kind of it. All right. As far as that goes, 2 things, I think. Number one, the home plate umpire, I don't think, needed to huddle with the crew. He's the home plate umpire. He's got control of the game. He should have just, there's no reason to warn both benches. It's a 5-run game in the 9th with 2 out. Okay, there's no reason to warn both benches. He could have given a warning just to Presley and just said, hey, you've thrown inside twice. All right, we know that Jordan got hit. You done it twice. We know that this could be retaliation. Just, if you're going to miss, don't miss there. Don't miss that far inside. But I think they kind of handled that a little poorly with the whole huddling up and then issue warning both benches. I think that was kind of stupid too. And then second of all, Presley, I think was calm, but asked why why he was doing it, which I guess is a legitimate question. But at the same time, just take your warning and you got 2 outs, just end the game, get on the plane. I think both sides could have behaved a little bit better than they did. And then last night, different team, Mariners, Astros. I think somebody had gotten crap. I can't remember. I just read this today because this all happened in the 9th inning too. Once again with 2 outs. But Neris was in the game pitching for the Astros. He hit France, I believe was the batter's name. Hit him in the back. Once again, now this was a 1-run game. Astros were actually down in this game. The score was 5-4 at the time. So this is a 1-run game in the 9th inning, mind you. And then France got plunked. And then France asked the umpire, do you think that was intentional? And the umpire was like, do you think it was? And he's like, no, I don't think it was, according to France. Apparently, though, the Astros took exception to the fact that France was asking if it was intentional or not, whether he said it wasn't or not. And then the dugout started chirping. Next thing you know, everybody comes out. Bench is clear. Warnings are issued. And then 2 batters later, Neris had given up a couple hits. They had tacked on 2 or 3 runs at this point. Final score ended up being 7-4. And then Neris hit another batter. And then after that, he got... And he didn't actually hit a batter. He actually threw the ball, but the ball was high, went behind the batter towards the head area. That I can totally agree with. Don't throw it at a guy's head. I don't care if it slipped or not. You got to have better control if you've gotten a warning with that. But if you throw it at a guy's head, it looks bad. So he got ejected, and because the warnings were issued, Dusty got ejected. Scott Service had been ejected before that. So both managers were ejected in the game. But yeah, I don't think Neris was trying to hit France in the first place because, once again, 1-run game, you don't want any base runners. And if Neris did intentionally hit him with 1 run, with a 1-run, being down 1 run with 2 out in the 9th, then that was just fucking stupid. All right, and I, as an Astro fan, will say that. That's just fucking dumb. All right. Sunday was a little bit different. You're up by 5, 2 outs if you're going to try and hit the guy. You got 5 runs to play with 2 outs. But when you're down by 1 in the 9th, you're not going to intentionally plunk a guy. And like I said, if they did that, that was fucking stupid. All right. So, yeah, the unwritten rules of baseball. I get it, but some of the unwritten rules are fucking stupid. You know, the only one I can agree with is don't bunt for a perfect game or no hitter. That's kind of dickish, unless it's like 0-0 going into like the ninth or something like that. And you just need base runners. It doesn't look good, but at least at the same time you're trying to win the fucking game. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of it. So yeah, that was a quick half hour. But yeah, hope everybody has a good rest of their week. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the NBA Finals. Hopefully they're closer than they were the other night. And then enjoy the Eastern Finals for the Stanley Cup. Tampa's looking to tie it up tonight, make it a 2-2 series. And enjoy the Belmont Saturday if that's your cup of tea. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got to enjoy the baseball and all that kind of stuff. And once again, don't forget to find me on Twitter at JJ Sports Show 63. That's at JJ Sports Show 63. And we will talk to you again next week. All right. Cheers, y'all. See y'all next week.